Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Khana Prep Podcast. I am your host, MASOOD, co-director of Khana Prep, and I'm joined with my beautiful assistant, which is, you know, introduce yourself?
Every podcast, I'm a new thing. Sometimes I'm just MOHSIN, sometimes an assistant, sometimes I'm your whatever it is. Anyways, guys, my name is MOHSIN. I'm one of the directors of Khana Prep, and happy to be here. Basically, talking to ourselves once again.
Cool. We're clearly not dressed for the occasion. I've been in the trenches.
Talk for yourself, mate.
I've been in the trenches all day. I've been working in the kitchen all day. New menu, working on that. I stabbed myself. Fun fact, stabbed myself right with, bro. You know, I've been so you know, my biggest fear, is knives, man. You know, how effortlessly that went through my skin. I've been forever shook of it. So I literally wrapped it up. And yesterday cut myself, but it's fine. I've been in the kitchen today again. New menu, working on a new menu. We've got a new menu launching next week. Hopefully, by the time this podcast is launched, the new menu should be out. And yeah, what have you been doing all day?
Oh wow! I'm trying to get to the podcast, which was supposed to happen about 2 hours ago.
Yeah, it was supposed to.
So yeah, just
yeah, we were working on a new show though, which you weren't here, obviously. You know what I'm saying? As late as always, but. You were supposed to be part of that show.
But you told me explicitly not to come.
No, I didn't.
You did. You said don't come through. You said come 3:30. I came.
I thought you meant you were gonna come for the podcast specifically.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Cool. Cool. So today we're going to be discussing is a topic that is on everyone's lips on the new year. New year, new me, hashtag New Year's resolutions, hashtag better than I was yet last year, hashtag hustle mode, hashtag grind mode is how to lose weight in 2023. How do I get my dream body in 2023? How can I get fit for summer for 2023? I feel like is a topic of discussion on everyone's lips. How do we start tackling this?
Now, first of all, you've started a topic that is. Have you got 4 hours for this podcast? Yeah. No, honestly, on a serious note, I think it is a very apt topic to be talking about. Hopefully, we can get this podcast out quick so people can benefit from this. And I think how people can get ready before we begin that, I think, first of all, we need to understand what our fitness goals have been this year. How have people, why do people think that the new year is going to be the big difference? Right? And usually it's for people is a clean start. Normally what happens, is like the beginning of the year is like, next Monday is going to be my next start. And then you do that for a few weeks and then, people fall off the bandwagon, and then it's like next month it's going to be, then it's going to be, after the summer, after the winter. And then before you know it, you've burnt 52 weeks of the year, and now you think, okay, next going to be the next year. Yeah. The fact of the matter is, let's be true, let's be real, right? The new year is not going to make a difference. Right, let's be honest. New Year is not going to make the difference in the thing. I understand why a lot of people have New Year goals, and which is what this podcast, I guess, is going to be about, which is, okay, how can we use 2023 to already implement what we already know and have that structure in place? Then, yeah, definitely, this podcast is going to be firing up some, and make sure you watch this podcast to learn, because we're going to be putting some gems in on how to basically lose weight is going to be the main topic here. For 2023, what are the things that we need to do and how we need to do that is what we're going to be sort of popping off in the discussion today.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's probably a selfish topic as well, because this time last year I was probably in the best shape of my life, and now obviously I've gained pretty much all the way back. Not all of it. I checked the scale like a couple of days ago, and I'm not that bad to where when I first started off. I'm still bad, but I'm not as bad. But I need to get back in shape, man.
Let's talk about that. Yeah. Let's talk about that, yeah. Look, obviously, beginning of the year, like you said, you were in good shape. You were feeling good. You were training. You were doing what you needed to do.
Training 5 days a week.
And you were getting that. You were seeing the results that you needed to see. But your life happened, and you're not. And using you as a case study, and all the people listening, there's going to be people watching this podcast who maybe were in a better position, earlier in the year. Things, the economy hasn't been the best. Things have been tough. It's not been an easy year for anybody, right? And then you come in, and then some people, it might have been that they haven't achieved the results that they wanted by the end of the year. For some people, they might have been worse off. But life happens. And I think the main thing is to appreciate that. Look, life does happen sometimes. Things happen. Things get in the way. Sometimes you do fall off the grind. But the main thing is having the knowledge, having the mindset, knowing the formula that when you're going to go back on, you're not going to be sitting there just shooting in the dark. You know that it's the thing. And I think hopefully now that you're going back on the thing, like me personally, like I haven't gained any weight this year. I wanted to be sub 80. I wanted to be below 80 this
80 kg.
I wanted to be below 80 kg this year. I wanted to be around about 78 to finish my complete cut. I wasn't able to do that. Life got in the way. I'm not blaming life, but it just certain things happened, certain circumstances just allowed me. But I maintained my weight. I made sure I am right now around sitting at 85 kg. Around about 85, just below 85 through 100 gram fluctuations is where I've been. I haven't gained any substantial amount of weight in the last 5-6 months. I've kept it consistent. I know I haven't lost weight, and I knew that actively I wasn't losing weight because I know what's happening, but I've made sure that I haven't made the situation worse for myself. And I think the first thing in 2023, my first piece of advice to people would be generally, look, if you're not where you want to be and you've lost things or you've lost track, the first thing is to maintain, to stabilize the ship. Keep the good habits that you have. And some of the good habits that I've kept, which we'll talk about later, is that I've kept my hydration up, I've kept my walking up, I've kept my portion control to a certain extent up. I've been a little bit more flexible with food, but my weight has been consistent. So my calories have been kind of at maintenance, I'd assume. But I think
the biggest killer, is the fact that you don't see the weight gain all at once. Like just to give some context, when I was at the best shape of my life, like last year, I was probably sitting around 89 kg. But I've been lighter in the past. Like a couple of years ago, I was lighter than 89, but physically I looked better. I had my muscles were growing. I was training 5 days a week, and doing cardio ample amounts. I just felt good. Like you just feel healthy. You just felt healthy, and that's what I felt like. And then the issue is that when you stop training, all of a sudden, all the gains that you've made for the previous months, you don't. It's not like you stop training and then tomorrow you're fat. It's like what the catch was for me was that I stopped training, and month 2, month 3, I still looked okay. Like the clothes still fit me. Like I looked good in the mirror. The scale wasn't fluctuating too much. Maybe because my activity levels were still high. But then after month 5, 6, like I think that's where it caught me off guard, because I thought, oh yeah, after 2 months I'll still look okay, and then this will be okay. I can still eat Krispy Kremes for breakfast and I'll be okay, or I can still eat curry for dinner and I'll be okay. But that kind of comfort mentality kicked in to where when it came to month 6, month 7, and then when I checked my scale recently, I'm like, bro, I gained that much weight. I was literally like 90 kg like 4 months ago. So.
And I think the fact there is, you made a very important point. You don't gain weight overnight, and don't expect to lose it overnight. And I think let's let that be the first point. If you're listening to this podcast, is if you haven't gained 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 kg on your body, it wasn't a 1 month process. It wasn't a 2 month process. It was months, if not years worth of gaining weight. So let's be realistic. I think the main thing for 2023 is the mindset, is being realistic. Is understanding. We're going to outline, some tips in this podcast that if you follow, you're guaranteed to lose weight.
So what's tip number 1?
I think step number 1 is, first of all, coming to the realization that I need to lose weight. I think that's the first. I think that's the first thing. You don't know what to fix until you know what there is to fix. I think that's the first step. Is to tell yourself. Again, not be rude to yourself, but look, I am overweight. I am, I have gained 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 kgs more than I need to be. I need to lose weight.
That's the hardest thing to admit.
That is the hardest thing to admit. Because the day you tell yourself that, I know so many people who are overweight, for example, and no disrespect to them, but they will justify it saying, oh, I'm bulking. Or, bro, listen, you're not bulking, you're fat, right? Let's be honest, right? And I went through a similar period like this 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when my highest I hit was 114 kilos, This is 114, just 140 kilos. And I was just like, I'm bulking, with just big biceps, I've got big bones, I've got big back, all the nonsense you hear it. Because you yourself don't want to tell yourself that you failed.
It's crippling.
Right, it's crippling, But I kid you not, the day I accepted to myself, I remember that day vividly. I was in one of my old offices. I was sitting there in the office. It was like 5, 6 o'clock in the evening. I was sitting there with my wife in the office. It was the end of the day. And I just sat there and I was just like, it just dawned upon me. I was like to my wife, I said, listen, I'm fat. And she's like, gave me.
I know.
No, she didn't. Funny thing, she didn't. She gave me the same reason that I was always giving. Oh no, you're bulking or this and that, whatever the case was. I had convinced her. I'd convinced her, but I had. Because I'd mentioned it so often to make myself feel good about myself. You say so many people around you start to believe it, and then so that was that situation. So I think the first thing is you to yourself need to accept the fact that I am overweight, and I think if that step number one is key. Is key.
Is the biggest thing.
Is the biggest
Arguably
thing,
the biggest thing. Yeah.
Is the biggest thing. You say, look, I want to lose weight. That's step number one. So if you listen to this podcast, step number one, if you're overweight, accept it.
Yeah.
Right. It's a personal journey. You don't have to tell the whole world that you're overweight. It's a personal journey. That's step number one, right? Do you think that's fair?
Of course.
Yeah. So I think that's step number one. And then step number two, it's being realistic.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's being realistic with the target that you want to achieve. Like, say for example, you're 100 kg and you got a massive belly. Like, I'm not talking about anyone in particular, but someone on the table wearing glasses and a black shirt right now might be in that position. But if you're like really overweight, you got a big belly, you see your love handles, clothes don't fit you like they used to. Like, I've had clothes.
How about this, Masood? Yeah, I'm publicly gonna challenge you on this. Yeah, publicly on the cameras.
It's a private conversation. Let's not bring it up.
What if I will coach you, right, for the next few weeks, and every week you've got to do a video. Me and you do a video together, telling everybody what we've done this week consistently, like how many steps we've done, how much water we drink, how much weight is, and every week we record like a 5-minute video to explain how you're feeling. And me myself as well, I've not got a lot of weight to lose. I've got about I want to lose another 7 kilos, probably around about 7-8 kilos, and I want to make that I want to get that done by February time, at least by February time. I want to get that completed over and dusted. So I'll start as well with you as well. Me and you, is that a challenge? Because look at the camera.
Like a weekly journal.
Yeah. What's the challenge? You accepting it or not accepting it?
First of all, this was a private conversation, isn't it? And I was thinking about it. But yes, of course, I accept the challenge. It's something that I've been meaning to publicly do for a while. And I think it'll be good business-wise. Not doing it for business, doing it for myself, but of course, thinking about the business as well. I think it'll be good for the business, for other people to see. But people publicly have seen me lose weight. Yeah. And publicly have seen me gain weight. I've seen comments, oh, bro, you're looking big, like, you should lose weight, you should take your own advice. I'm like, yes, bro, I know. You know what I mean?
I think maybe a lot of people don't know, I lost 25 kilos to Khana prep meals, right? And I'm going to coach Masood, right? Publicly, I'm saying this to you guys, yeah? And we're going to come up with a video we're both going to share our stats. So you're going to write down your starting weight, and then basically after a week what it is, and I'm going to share my weight, whatever the case is, and we're going to write it down. And if we haven't lost weight, we're going to talk about basically in that 5-10 minute video as to what we're going to change, what adjustments we're going to make for the following week, and we're going to do a public journal on this. I'm going to lose.
That'd be a good idea. I think
I'm going to do my weight. You're going to do weight. Yeah. So we're going back to the conversation. So first thing is accepting that you need to lose weight. Number 2 is being realistic. Listen, guys, if you got 30-40 kilos to lose, stop thinking about the 40 kilos. I promise you did not gain 40 kilos because you had Krispy Kreme donuts for even a month. It was over a couple of years period. So let's be realistic. I think the first thing is to tell yourself that I'm not going to lose 50 kilos. You're going to set your micro goals weekly. Don't forget the weights for a second. We're going to give you the guideline. You're going to follow that guideline, and you're just going to follow it on a weekly basis. And every day you're going to tick it off. Do you know what? I did everything this day. I did everything this day. Because losing weight is an accumulation of many, many small micro goals. You can sit here and say, I'm going to do 55 hours of cardio, and I'm going to go on a 200-calorie diet, and I'm going to, jump off a building 55 times a week, and I'm going to go, look, let's be honest. That is not going to make you lose. What's going to make you lose weight is the small things that you do, the 5-10 things that you need to, and you do them on a daily basis, and they don't do them for 1 day, but you do them for 2 days, and you do it for 3 days, and you do it for 4 days, and then you do it for 5 days, you do it for 10 days, you do it for 15 days, and after you get to day 35, you look back, you think, wow, actually, do you know what? I've made this much progress. So we're going to talk about these micro goals in a second, that what these micro goals look like. But I think the second thing is being realistic.
One thing that I've realized with losing weight, obviously from my past experience, from getting in good shape last year, is that after 4 weeks on a consistently good routine, you will start to notice the weight loss. And after 8 weeks, people will start to notice. I've known that. 4 weeks, you'll notice, like, even though the scale hasn't dropped by much, you'll see, oh, you know what? This sweatshirt is tight, but 4 months it was tighter. Like this is loose now on me. Like, the clothes fit different.
Just to stop you, what you said is, that's a micro goal, guys. That is a micro goal, right? just how your top fits you, just how somebody comments you. Take that as a win. Take that as a win. If your top is fitting you a bit differently, take that as a win. Right? It's a win because the weight will come off. But if you're starting to look better, maybe your body is going through a recomposition phase. Maybe you lost some water, whatever the case may be. But take that as a win. Accept it. You have to tell yourself, well done, MASOOD, well done, MOHSIN, well done, Bob, well done, Mohammed, well done, Natasha, whoever it is, well done, every single person for that micro goal. So telling yourself, and like I always say, right, and this is something, if you guys want to make note, and this is something you're going to do in your challenge as well, right, there's 2 to 3 things that you should measure on a weekly basis to see if your goals. One is get a measuring tape when you start your weight loss and measure around your belly button. Yeah, measure around your belly button. So get your measuring tape, put it around your belly button, measure it, how many inches, whatever it is, right? Make a record of it. Number 2, obviously weigh yourself, right, on the week. And number 3, take pictures. Right? Now, you take pictures from the front, back, side, everything, you take pictures and you record it for your personal journey. When you check your progress every week, one or 2 of these things have to change every week. So your weight might not change that week, but when you check your circumference around your belly button, that measuring tape, if it's down, you've lost weight, you've lost fat that week. Right? The scale didn't show it, but there are other indicators that show that you've lost weight that are other than just weight. It might be the way, for example, you measure yourself, the way you picture it. You may look at the picture and you may not see the weight change on the scale, but you may see that actually, you know what? My arms or my leg or my back or my neck or my face or something or my thighs, I feel like this. I feel like I can see it from the picture comparison. I can see it. Does that make sense? So those are 3 things. So again, I would put that I make a note that if you are going to go into weight loss, the way to measure it is 3 things. Measure your measuring tape around your belly button, so around your waist, around your belly button. Measure your weight yourself and take pictures and record that on a weekly basis. Right?
I was going to say, I want to add to that as well. I think it's important when people are weighing themselves, weigh yourself on the same time every single day. So for me, when I was losing weight first time around, I used to intermittent fast, and before I used to eat my first meal, I used to weigh myself every day. Or it was like 5 p.m. or like I was really extreme. I was like 5 p.m. I'm gonna weigh myself every single day, and that's where you get consistent results.
I think the best time to weigh yourself is in the morning, because 5 o'clock in the day, right? If you're measuring yourself 5 o'clock in the day, there's so many variables by that time. Maybe you walked more that day. Maybe you've eaten more that day. Maybe you've had more calories the night before. Whatever the case is, the best time everybody advises to weigh yourself is in the morning, first thing after you go into the toilet, just with your underwear on, or ideally with no clothes, and weigh yourself at that time, because that's consistent. There's more likely to be a level of consistency in that, right? So guys, make sure you make a note of that, right? So we've discussed already a lot of things that are there. We've talked about accepting that you need to lose weight. We've talked about being realistic, and we've talked about 3 or 4 things that you can measure to actually measure your journey.
I was gonna say another thing, maybe another point. Maybe point number 3 is don't get disheartened at the scale if it doesn't move on a daily basis. That might be a mouthful to say, but essentially is don't judge your progress on a daily basis. So for example, you might start off at 100. The second day or on the third day, it might go to 103 or 102. The better way to understand it is how you weigh in the start of the week, provided you've done all the things right. At the end of the 7 days, you should have dropped down in weight. So measure record yourself on a daily basis so you can measure the average, and by the end of the week, your scale automatically should go down.
100%.
You know what I mean?
I agree with you. I think if you haven't lost weight in the first week, don't pull your hair out.
Don't
right?
cry, bro.
If it's not changed for maybe 2 weeks, maybe the second or third week, right, then you need to make a few adjustments, right? And we'll talk about this adjustment in a second. So I think let's move on to the next point. I think the next point is, in my opinion, is your mindset. It's your mindset, and this goes in with the whole thing that we were talking about being realistic. It's very important when you're losing weight and you start to lose weight. You have to know your goal that you're trying to achieve, and you have to learn how to say no to things around you.
We've already talked about mindset in the first point, but I think the third point would be how to achieve that goal and put that goal into practice.
Which one?
We talked about mindset. That was the first point.
No, the point I'm trying to make is the mindset, and basically when you're losing the weight, how do you lose weight, and how do you manage to do that with everybody around you? Right? Because you're going to try to lose weight, you're going to try to say, so, bruv, just have the dessert. Or you know what, have something to eat. You have to learn how to say no. When if you're eating a certain amount of food, you're controlling your portion size, you're controlling your calories, whatever the case may be, there is absolutely no harm in saying no.
What's your opinion on people stopping something cold turkey?
For example,
Like, I've got a really bad sugar tooth,
Okay.
and I'm stopping eating everything cold turkey, and then by day 3 I'm eating it again.
look, my personal opinion on that, first of all, I think there's no such thing as good food and bad food.
Okay.
I don't think we need to ever look at I don't think the relationship with food should ever be considered to be, this is good food and that is bad food. That's not how it is.
So you're saying no food is bad food?
No food is bad food. I think there is a difference between what the quantity of each type of food you should eat is definitely something that should be considered. Like, should you eat more greens and more protein, or should you eat more donuts? Is the question that we need to be asking, not the fact that should I eat no donuts and eat all greens, because that's not a realistic lifestyle that you're living. That's you at the end of the day, you are a human being. You also want to indulge, and I don't think you should ever look at food. The way you should look at food is, okay, I can have some of this, but I can have more of this, right? So if you have a sugar tooth, well, the reason probably you have a sugar tooth is because you either overly restrict yourself. So have your sugar. Yeah. Just have your sugar. What's the problem? I mean, by you having a dessert is not going to kill your calories, right? Maybe you just know how much. Maybe you can't have 5 plates of it. Maybe you can have half a plate. Maybe you can have a couple of spoons. Maybe you can, you can save it on a different day. So my question is, no cold turkey.
Joe Rogan said, I think Joe Rogan said, I've heard someone say it. He said, if you, for example, if you're addicted to eating cheeseburgers, for example, or you're addicted to eating donuts, having one cheeseburger a day is okay, but having a cheeseburger every day is what's gonna kill you. Like if you want to have a cheeseburger, have it at the end of the week, or if you want to have a donut, have 3 at the end of the week, but don't have it every single day. That's what kills.
100%. And I think people I think another thing to go into the new year, don't look to cut any foods out. Yeah. I think that is a very unhealthy relationship with food, right?
Toxic.
It's not. Just don't cut the food out. Just eat the food. Just eat it in proportion, right? Eat it in proportion. Just don't excessively eat the food. If you're eating, for example, I don't know, let's say you're somebody that eats, 3 chocolates a day, right? 3 chocolates a day, right? Cool. Fine.
That's me, bro.
I don't know, restrict it to 1 chocolate a day.
Snickers, Mars bars, Bounty.
Yeah, restrict it to 1 bar a day. If you can't restrict it, maybe restrict it to half a chocolate every day. So have a bar that you would have in one day, have it over 2 portions. Maybe you've got enough calories where you can have a bar, no problem. That bar is not going to kill you, but just don't have 3 bars. Have your Mars bars if you like it, but just don't not have no Mars bars, and then come a month later, you're gonna binge of 55 Mars bars in one go, right? So don't do that. Because it's that thing. As humans, if we're restricted from something for too long, then when we had the freedom to do it, we just want to just yam it all down.
What's your favorite chocolate bar of all time?
My chocolate bar. My problem is I like sugar.
Of all time, though.
Of all time.
Like, you'd grab it on any given chance. Like, yeah, if that's there, I'm gonna grab it. I've got one. Snickers, bro. Snickers.
Dude, I like Snickers. Sometimes I know this is probably a dumb idea, but sometimes, in a rare occasion, I'll have a Snicker before I go training, because it'll give me some like sugar rush and
some nuts, bro. Some protein.
Protein.
I was eating the Snickers protein bar.
Anyways, we'll pass that.
I was eating the Snickers protein bar before I knew it was haram, and I was eating it every day.
Anyways, so what was I gonna say? So I think, where were we? We were talking about.
Well, what's your favorite chocolate bar?
Oh, my chocolate bar.
You got to answer that question before we move on.
I'm trying to think what my favorite chocolate bar is.
People hate on Bounty, but I like Bounty.
I like Bounty, to be honest. I don't know what my favorite. I don't think I have a favorite. I do like Lindo.
Okay.
Hey.
That's like premium.
I do like Lindo chocolate.
Is that premium?
Yes.
Premium. Oof. The normal one, yeah.
You talk about blessings in life, yeah. You thank God, yeah, for blessings.
I
thank God for Lindo all the time.
Whoever made that, bro.
Bro. Yeah, that chocolate, and you eat it. All the bounties. Jannah's gonna be sick,
Yeah.
It's gonna be mad.
Let's get the first one.
Yeah, inshallah. Because I'm gonna ask for a river of Lindo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bathe in it.
The best Lindo is salted caramel. Don't ask me how I know that, bro. When I used to work in Amazon warehouse.
Anyways, gone.
The Lindo chocolate.
Listen, we're trying to help people lose weight here, not trying to give them more calories in chocolates.
But bro, the Lindo chocolate was on the floor, and I was like, listen, the box is already open, so it's not stealing. So I just took like 3 in my pocket. But anyways, enough incriminating myself. But yeah, cool. So where were we? We were talking about if everything is good
Yeah, there's no good and bad food.
Yeah.
It's just by the quantity of the food, right? So we've dealt with that. So I think learning how to say no is very important. Now I think the main lesson here for losing weight is I think these are like the 3-4 steps of success of losing weight. Listen to guys carefully, yeah? Listen to this. When you're losing weight, you must have a real reason as to why you want to lose weight. Now you're probably thinking, like, where's the gem here? The gem here is, I tell you, if you're just losing weight because, I want to lose weight, what if one day you don't want to lose weight? What if that's the reason, like, I can't bother today? That's it. But having 5-10 reasons as to why you want to lose weight, for example, I want to lose weight because I want to lose weight. I want to lose because it makes me more confident. I want to lose weight because I feel more confident about myself. It makes me feel more positive. It makes me feel more energetic. It makes me feel more, I want to be able to run after my kids. I want to be able to look after my parents. I want to be able to, worship, when you have 9-10 different reasons as to why you want to lose weight, even if one of them, I don't want to lose weight today because I can't be bothered, well, you've got 9 other reasons to want to lose weight. You've got these 9 other motivating things that you want to lose weight for. So you've got a deeper, a deeper why as to why you want to lose weight. So my thing after this point, guys, pause the podcast right now. If you want to lose weight, get your phone out, get your notes, get a notebook, and write down 10 reasons as to why you want to lose weight. Spend some time and think about why you want to lose weight. So just in case one of the reasons, you're not feeling that one reason today, you've got 9 other reasons. If you're not feeling 2 of the reasons, you've got 8 other reasons. If you've got so many motivating factors to lose weight, right? That if one of them are not there, 2 of them not there, you've got 10 other things or 9 other things to do that. So do that exercise. Because guys, I promise you this will be a life changer for you. Pause the video and write 10, 9, whatever it is, reasons as to why you want to lose weight, and put that on, read your why every single day before you go to sleep or in the morning.
I think from a guy's perspective, I think the best way to lose weight, I think go 1 or 2 ways. I'm not advocating for this, but it's happened to me on the person, or not happened to me, or it has happened to me. But bruv, get your heart broken, bro, from from your wife, bro, not from anyone else, but from your wife. Get your heart broken from whoever, bro. Get your business partner to steal money from you. Get someone to spit in your face. Go get bullied for 7 years straight, of how you're fat, and prove those people wrong, bro. That is the biggest motivating factor. I don't care whatever you say. To prove people wrong, to get out of bed. Like, you can have 10 reasons, but that one reason to prove people wrong, bro. Bun him, bro, or bun that person. Like, I'm gonna get out of bed and train train hard. Because, that fuel, that negativity.
So guys,
Basically,
Masood's been telling, basically, inadvertently, he's telling us that he's had a heartbreak and...
No, I haven't. I'm just saying, that's just from a guy's perspective.
I get that, but, but
you gotta get your...
Going on
take it out and rip it, bro. You need that type of aggression in the gym. I'm telling you, that's the biggest motivating factor.
I get that. We get to the gym in a second. We'll deal with that conversation in a second as well. But we get that. But write those things down. I think they're going to be really, really important. Masood, you're going to do this as well, right? You're going to share your 10 reasons.
I'll go my reason.
You got to write them publicly, guys. Masood, you got to share yours publicly. You're going to share yours publicly.
Heartbroken.
But yeah, guys, so write your mission statement as to why you want to lose weight. 10 reasons as to why, right? If not 10, at least 7, 8 reasons. Write them down, put them on your notes, and read them every day you wake up in the morning, 10 seconds, pull it out, remind yourself as to why you're doing that, and that's something. Now, let's move on to the science of things, right? Well, how do you lose weight is probably the big question. Well, how do I lose weight? Well, look, guys, the basics here is calorie deficit.
Simple,
right?
Bro. End the video now. Calorie deficit. How you lose
basically, what does calorie deficit mean? This is a fancy way of saying, basically, your body, how you lose weight is the calories that you're burning on a daily basis. As long as that is more than what's going in your mouth, you're going to lose weight. Because it makes sense, right? If you're burning all of that energy and you're giving it less, that means it's going to be burning more than it's actually going to be storing. Right? That's the very simplistic definition. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, MOHSIN, that's not right, blah, blah, blah. But listen, guys, I'm not giving you guys a plan. I'm giving you guys an outline, a guideline on how to lose weight, right? So if you want more research and you want to spend more time going into calorie deficit, we've got some other podcasts, I think, on our YouTube channel as well that talk about calorie deficit. We've got personal trainers there. You can go watch it in your own time. But in short, calorie deficit, you want to work, you want to reduce your calories. Now, a lot of people don't like tracking calories. A lot of people say, I don't want to track my calories because that's too long for me. Look, guys, one way you can do that is portion control. reduce your portion. So if you're eating a massive plate, reduce your size of a plate. If you're having, excessive amount of carbs, restrict your carbs a
That's
little
the
bit.
key thing. Sorry, I only cut off, but reducing the size of the plate is such a game changer in terms of losing weight, because you could have a smaller plate and stuff it, and it'll look like you're eating a lot.
100%.
Psychologically, you know what I mean?
That's 10 point there. How you perceive your food on the plate makes a huge difference. If you've got a massive plate this big, and then you've got a little dollop food and you've got a little dollop food in the middle, you're gonna be like, oh, this is not enough food. But if you've got a small plate and then you've got a lot of food on there, you're gonna feel psychologically, oh, this is a lot of food, and you're gonna kind of think this is a lot of food. Always make sure your protein content is substantial, your greens is substantial, and your carbs is a little bit less, right? That's a good sort of, maybe two fists of protein, right? Maybe a good fist, a couple of fists of greens, and then one fist of carbs, or portion size in your plate, keeping it nice and restricted and eating that, and that should really give you a balance. If you eat that portion control for a week, and after a week you see you're losing weight, stick to it. If it doesn't, then you can adjust it a little bit.
I think the better way, I mean, if you've got time, or even if you don't have time, just make time. I think the better way for me is properly tracking it. Like, how many calories does it have? Go download MyFitnessPal. It's easy, probably one of the best apps out there for everyone, just to go and track your meals. Just literally scan the barcode of chicken or whatever it is you're eating, and just like track it. It's not difficult. You know what I mean?
You know what my problem with that is?
That's the accurate.
And I get that. To be honest, Masood's 100% correct here, right? Like, tracking calories over the calories is like the 10-10 way of doing it. Realistically, a lot of people don't do it. Realistically, a lot of people find it very tiresome, and it's very difficult for people to actually get on to do that. So if you're going into the new year, because a lot of people, just to lose weight and start tracking calories, they're like, oh, I can't be bothered, I'm not going to lose weight now. I can't be bothered to do that. So if you can't be bothered to do it, don't do it. Just go on portion control. Just more protein, more greens, and a fistful of carbs. Go with that. See how your situation goes. If you lose weight, happy days.
Do you think eating carbs is a bad thing?
No, I don't.
Because a lot of people will be like, oh, but that's a lot of carbs. And I'm like, so what?
Look, let me explain something, right? There's lots of different types of diets, right? People say intermittent fasting. People talk about keto. People talk about I don't know what other types of names of diets are. But long story short, every single one of these diets, all that they are doing is allowing you to get into a calorie deficit by just cutting a type of food. That's all it's doing. For example, you got intermittent fasting. The only thing intermittent fasting is allowing you to do is doing nothing more than just preventing you from eating food during the rest of the day. Therefore, there's a shorter window, shorter period on which you can eat. Therefore, the theory is that you're going to eat less in that given window. So it's still a calorie deficit. The intermittent fasting is not what's making you lose weight here. It's the fact that you're restricting the time in which you can eat. You look at keto, the reason why people say keto is a big thing, well, it's not. The only thing is they're restricting the calories by restricting the carbs.
We had this discussion on the page, on the Khana page. Someone was saying that keto, because I stopped keto, I'm gained weight. No. And it's not because you stopped keto because you gained weight. It's like 100%. If you're on keto diet and you're eating over your calorie limit, then you're still going to gain weight.
Exactly.
Like, it's not because of keto you lose weight. It's because you're on a deficit.
100%.
You're losing weight.
And also, when the people go on a keto diet initially, right? A lot of people, when they go on a keto diet where they cut out carbs, they do see an initial drastic drop in weight, because carbs tends to hold water in your body. So when you restrict carbs from your body and you lose the carbs and you lose the water content. So initially it's a big dip. But after the big dip, what happens? The only reason you're losing weight because on keto is because you're restricting your calories from carbs perspective. So the principle here is still calorie deficit, guys. So guys, I think I'm going to put it out simply. Do whatever diet you want. Do intermittent fasting. Do whatever you want. First of all, I don't advise ever anybody taking any type of food out, right? I don't think anybody who's a professional nutritionist, I don't think anybody who knows about the fitness is ever going to encourage anybody to cut out a full body group of a whole group of foods.
This is not nutrition advice. This is just our experience.
Right? But one thing I'll tell you from a nutritionist perspective, not my perspective, but nutrition, when I've spoken to them, they will never advocate on taking a whole food group out anyways. It's just not, it doesn't make sense. They will tell you have more of this, less of that, but never taking out complete food. But if you are going to do it, guys, it's all going to be calorie deficit. Do what you want. Khana Prep now, how Khana Prep supports this journey is the next point we want to talk about is food, right? Now, how do you make sure Khana Prep is a solution to your nutritional your nutrition journey. We help you take the time out, save you time and having to prep your meals. We get those meals calorie counted, macro counted on your door, into your fridge, and all you got to do is get them and warm them up. Which means the big chunk, which is 80% of your weight loss or 60% of the weight loss comes from food. Khana Prep manages that for you, right? We manage getting that food out for you. We spend the time in cooking the food. Our fat loss portions, some people say, well, oh, that's too small. Our fat loss portions are guaranteed to help you lose weight. Yeah. So it's factual. I've lost 25 kilos using it. Well, of course, when you're eating the meal, you're going to be a little bit hungry afterwards, right? It's a fat loss portion, right? You so we're not. What I promise you guys, what we're not doing is giving you less food on purpose. We're giving it because that's what you have. One portion of a meal is 400, between 400 to 500 calories. You have two, that's 1,000 calories. Then you got your breakfast and whatever other things that you're going to have with it, right? So you can bring up the calories yourself. The point of the fact of the matter is, Khana Prep helps you solve one massive problem, which is your food, right? You've got no excuse if you're going to work. Oh, listen, I don't have time to meal prep. I understand meal prep is very tiresome. It takes a long time. I don't have time to meal prep. I know a lot of people that don't have time to meal prep. We say, okay, guys, you focus on everything else. We'll take care of your food. All you got to do is get your food, chuck it in the microwave, warm me up, eat it. 3 minutes. You can go to your friend's house, your cousin's house. You can go to work. You can go to office. You can go wherever you want. You got this meal with you. You chuck it in the box. Off you go. And that is what Khana Prep provides, is a solution for convenience. It provides a solution for your nutrition goals. So you don't have to look at yourself 6 months down the line, be like, well, it was because of my food that I did not lose weight. Because Khana Prep promises you that food is not the reason why you're not losing the weight. It solves that problem, right? And it solved the problem for me. Like for me, I remember when the day I said I was fat, that's the day I was like, I need food. Where am I going to get the food from? I don't have the time to make the food. We don't have the time. I'm busy. What do I do? Is when I had that conversation with you, I think a couple of weeks later, I said, MASOOD, listen, before we come out with Khana Prep, I want us to produce a meal and I'm going to test it myself. I'm going to eat the meals myself and I'm going to prove to myself that Khana Prep is going to be the solution. And I lost 25 kilos in that process of eating Khana Prep meals. And you know what? When Khana Prep first started, let me tell you guys a fun fact. It didn't even change menu. It didn't even change its menu for every 2 weeks. It didn't change its menu for 6 months. I had the same food for 6 months on a row. I kid you not.
You did.
It was 6 months in a row I had the same food. You remember that, right? I used to have the same food I used to have every single month for 6 months.
We might have introduced a new meal like every 2 months. Like.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So that is
every 2 weeks.
Now we change our meals every 2 weeks, guys. So guys, we try our best to produce good meals, right? Convenience, right, and all that. Now, the last thing from my perspective, because even if you don't want to do Khana Prep, the other option is you meal prep yourself if you got the time. But even if you don't have the time, then the solution is there. Because we get it on our comment section every time. Oh, but that's gonna cost you. Literally, they spend time working out our costs. Like that's right. You know, honest thing about cost, right? Because I know a few people have commented regarding this cost situation, right? And I think a lot of people don't understand this issue about our meals are not expensive, right? Yeah. People might perceive them to be expensive. I mean, you go to a chicken shop, chicken burger, or the case buy chips, right? That's costing you £5, right? Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, of course, bro.
Yeah. It's
costing a meal with the drink and the chips, and it's gonna be at £6.
Yeah, £5-6, right? Our meals are around about that, maybe slightly more, slightly less, round about depending what the meal is, right?
£6.95 for a fat loss.
So you got £6.95 for a fat loss meal, right? And these meals, we have to take in consideration the meals, the ingredients, the packaging, the making sure that the boxes, making sure a lot of cost. So guys, we don't try to be extortionate with people. We try to be very reasonable. We try to give good meals to people. But I think the last point I want to mention, just from a fat loss perspective, because I don't want to overload everybody with all this extra piece of information I'm giving them, is guys, NEAT. I think I've got before the podcast started, I just wanted to get a good definition out here for you guys, right? So it's called something called non-exercise activity thermogenesis, NEAT, right? Now I just want to define to you guys what this means, right?
Say that in English.
So non-exercise activity thermogenesis is called NEAT. It is the energy expended for everything we do that is not sleeping, eating, or sports-like exercise. It ranges from the energy expended walking to work, typing, performing yard work, undertaking agriculture tasks, and fidgeting. Basically, long story short, NEAT is the type of things that you do unknowingly. You're just walking around, I'm picking this pot up, I'm moving my phone, I'm fidgeting, I'm picking. This is the energy my body needs I'm blinking my eyes, I'm moving my hands. my body is expending energy in this, right? You have to understand. This is called NEAT, right? Now, one important way to lose your to get your NEAT up to lose weight is not to go on the treadmill for an hour a day. It's actually, I can't say here, guys, you need to sit here and fidget for 15 minutes every day. That wouldn't be realistic for me to say. So an easy way to track your NEAT is by steps, right? And now I'm gonna show that quickly. Yeah, look, here's my phone. I don't know. Can I show it to the camera? So here's my phone, right? You go to Samsung Health, right? And here this is a pedometer, right? Here this is a pedometer, right?
Put on one camera, so
right. So here this is called a pedometer, right? It's on every app. Any smartphone has this, right? And today I've done almost 11,000 steps, right? Now, I would recommend everybody to look at your phone, see what your activity levels are. And if your activity levels are 2,000 steps, double it, go to 4,000, and keep that for a couple of weeks, and then double, and then go for 5,000. Aim for minimum 10,000 steps. 10,000 is not the magical number, but 10,000 steps is a good amount of activity, and then you can build up from it, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15,000 steps. I promise you guys, if your mindset is there, you stay in a calorie deficit, you just move around more and more activity and you measure it, I can guarantee you will lose weight, no question asked. There is no reason other. And I'm going to prove to you guys with MASOOD, right? I'm going to get MASOOD on this exact same diet. Yep. And a week from today, I'm going to make a same video and I'm going to prove to you guys that just with these three things, making sure you're staying in calorie deficit, making sure you're doing your steps, and obviously very importantly is drinking water consistently, at least 2 liters a day, right, is what you need to do to train. You do not need to be inside a gym to lose weight. Yeah. It's not needed. It's not. Gym is not equal. It helps you to get stronger, fitness, build muscle. It will aid you in your fat loss, but it is not. It will add 10. It will contribute 10%, less than 15% to your weight loss. 95% or 80% is going to come from your calorie deficit, your activity levels, and your hydration and your normal sleeping pattern and stuff like that. Right. So I'm not saying don't go to the gym. I'm saying gym is not going to be the reason as to why you're going to lose weight. It's not going to be. You can lose weight without being in the gym. That is fact.
Yeah.
Fact.
Facts. Cool. I think we've covered a lot in this podcast on time before the cameras cut out. But thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Again, make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Let us know what other topics you want us to do, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Thank you, Jazz.